That was phenomenal, Paul.
It was. It was good.
Welcome back to Pop Culture Explosion. I'm Mike, and this is my co-hosts here, Kaira and Paul.
Here at Pop Culture Explosion, we go to the cemetery, we dig the dirt, we grab the body, we give it to you. Kira, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. Awesome show.
Jessica Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's on Marvel, right? I mean, no, Netflix. Okay, So what we have here with this, Mike has been like trying to get me to watch this show, and when I'm on Netflix, I get my mouse to it, and then I go, oh look, there's the West Wing. Oh look, I haven't watched the show. What?
Well, clearly Paul didn't do his homework, so he is out of here. So welcome back to Pop Culture Explosion. I'm Mike, and this is Kaira, and today, what are we talking about?
Talking about Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones was great.
Yes.
We're going to recommend it, and here's why.
Yep.
What do you think?
I think overall it's a fantastic show. It took me a few episodes to kind of get into it, not going to lie. I feel like it was a slow starter. Honestly, I actually started watching the show because a friend of mine told me that David Tennant was in it, and I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, so I said, all right, I'll try it. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know what I got myself into. And then mid-season I was like, this is fantastic. And I kind of blew through the rest of it within days.
Yeah, that just seems to be, like we're on the same page with this. Tonally very different than Daredevil. It's in the same world, and they're in Hell's Kitchen and everything, so there's going to be that crossover bit, which is fun. It's always fun. I'm a big fan of that. I also had a hard time getting into it initially. The reason for that, I think, is here we have a Marvel character, came out in 2001, that I may have known about her, but it's kind of like, I have a hard time watching characters I don't know who they are as a lead. So I think in the first few episodes I was kind of like, and I put it on the shelf for a long time. And then because we were doing the Daredevil reviews, and I'm a completionist, so I got to see everything. So I went back. Glad I did, because after, especially when David Tennant comes into the show, he really steals the show.
Yeah,
he steals the show. Absolutely. So Easter eggs.
Yeah, there was
talk about Easter eggs.
Ton of them in this show. I thought the first time I watched it, I didn't even catch all of them. I mean, there were just so many characters that came about that really were, not technically in the spotlight, but very important figures that have come across in the Marvel Universe in the past.
It seems that every frame, if you really think about it, is rich with Easter eggs. And it's the characters. Let's do some examples here. Jessica Jones and Trish Walker are talking, right?
Yeah.
They're talking about, she's kind of pushing her to be a superhero.
Right.
The costume that they show, I believe, is out of the comic books. And they talk about her name, Jewel. Jessica Jones has a history there with the Avengers and so forth. So there's kind of a little nod there. Hellcat.
Right.
Now you were telling
Tricia Walker being Hellcat. Didn't pick up on that one originally. It wasn't through conversations that I was like, oh, how did I miss that? Yeah.
And Hellcat was part of the Avengers and the Defenders, and there's a rich history there. So I mean, you might see this. You just don't see that when you're watching the show, but it's just that is so much fun that the writers are playing with the Marvel Universe like this. It's so huge for comic fans, I think. I mean, and then like you mentioned, we were talking before, you don't have to know all this to enjoy the show.
Right, you really don't. They do a great job of giving it for both the comic fans and new viewers who aren't familiar with it.
Which is, that's a brilliant way to approach a project like this. Who else can we talk about? Luke Cage.
Yeah, huge character.
You know, in more ways than one.
Yes. I think that they brought him in the show and he had such a good rating that they decided he's got his own series coming out in March. So that'll
September 30th.
Is it September?
September 30th,
all
yes.
Right. I thought it was...
Look for Luke Cage.
I thought it was after the Defenders. I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He's coming up and he's coming soon. Check our site. We got trailers up there and a whole bit. So
yeah, I'm excited about that.
Luke Cage goes back to 1972. Fun bit about him and Claire.
Yeah.
Claire Temple, who's from Daredevil, the nurse.
Yep.
Right. She's kind of the stitch between all of these.
Yeah.
Daredevil, Jessica Jones. We're gonna have Luke Cage. We're gonna have Iron Fist, Defenders.
Yeah.
Maybe Daredevil or Punisher. But she's kind of weaving through these shows.
And
she actually was dating Luke Cage, I believe, in the first issue or whatever. So, again, rich history with these guys.
It's important to note that they're keeping the timeline consistent. Marvel's doing a fantastic job. Netflix. This is, there's an episode with in Daredevil where she comes in and she's bruised, and the interviews say that they had to make sure that the makeup was exactly the same from when she was in Jessica Jones because they want the timeline to add up. She's a pivotal part, I think, in all of the series that they've put out so far.
Yeah, I think Marvel's done just a phenomenal job with the movies and the TV shows, how they, cross continuity and the whole thing, and that's what I'm just such a fan of. I mean, they're kind of lifting that from the comics.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how that all the stuff in the world is all related. Okay, talk about favorite characters.
Yeah, that's a hard one for me. I feel like I'm 50-50 between.
Really?
I love Kilgrave. I loved his, minus the fact that it's David Tennant, but the character himself. I love the idea of being able to control people's minds and knowing what he's capable of doing. It speaks to me on a level because I think we've all had those days where we're like, man, I wish I knew what you were thinking, or if only I could get you to do this, and so there's an envy that comes with it. But on the same side, you have Luke Cage, who I feel like, as angry as he is, he's a very down-to-earth and relatable character.
Yeah.
To me, he's that guy who doesn't want to be in the spotlight. He doesn't want to be, a hero. He is just trying to live his life and stay out of things, and boom, here comes Jessica Jones like a storm.
Yeah, she's a hot mess.
Yeah.
And I just found myself laughing through this show because, towards the end, like the last several episodes, they're stumbling from one place to the other. They show back up at her house. It's just destroyed. She's sitting at her desk drinking, and there's bullet holes, all in the wall and everything. And it's like, it's just a body in her bedroom or whatever. It's like, she goes from one mess to the next. And David Tennant was smashing. He was just great. I'm a big fan of his, and I think he's probably my favorite of it all. But we had a little rough, bumpy start with this, where I wasn't knowing if I was going to like this. Kind of like Jessica Jones. I like her character. Her and Luke Cage. I mean, all the characters are phenomenal, really. But those three in particular. Your Kilgrave, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. I like, what was his name? Malcolm. Her neighbor, the kid.
Oh, the kid, yeah, Malcolm. I forgot about him.
Yeah, he was. I liked him. And then let's talk about this for a second. I really hated the redhead.
Really?
She was so annoying, so crazy, so creepy. Oh man. So, okay, so we're gonna talk about Kilgrave for a second. Now, he in the comic books is known as Purple Man.
Yep.
And typical. Was, running from the cops or something, shot a canister full of liquid, he gets chemical,
it's radioactive chemicals.
Of course. Becomes purple, so there's another interesting history with Purple Man, Zebediah Kilgrave is his name. Very cool, you should look that up. My recommendation would be to, when you're watching the show, look at the characters, go look them up.
Yeah.
Because they're so much fun. I'm going to include some links too underneath to take a look at some of it, like Nuke, which is Will Simpson, who's from the comic books and all that stuff. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add?
I think you should watch it. I think, like you said, it's important to know all the different characters. I think, having those Easter eggs, like we talked about earlier, really makes the show. But I think at the end of the day, it's a good show. Whether you're into comics or not, I would recommend it to anybody.
Yes, and especially if you are into comics or you're new to it, I think it's important to get on board with what the whole arc is. Watch the 2 seasons of Daredevil, Jessica Jones. We got Luke Cage, September 30.
Right.
They've cast Iron Fist already, and we're shooting towards the Defender. So this is a big arc that's going on that you don't want to miss a moment.
Exactly.
So, should we bring Paul back now?
Yeah, I guess we can bring him in.
Thanks, guys, for
Welcome
letting me come back. I'm sorry. That was the first. I've not been punished and sent to my room in like 25 years, so that was weird. I'm sold. I'm gonna watch this series before our next episode, and I'll let you guys know which is a simple thumbs up or thumbs down. But from what you guys are saying, it looks like a thumbs up. So, Mike, Kaira, any last words for this?
Final thoughts would be, for me it took a few episodes to get involved, but there's that payoff.
I agree. Make sure that you just keep watching. If you want to take a break, don't. It gets better.
So this was Mike. This was my first episode that I wasn't part of. If you like that aspect of it, do a thumbs up. Continue the conversation down below. What are your thoughts about this show? And oh, by the way, we have a Facebook page. It's called Pop Culture Explosion on Facebook. Take a look at that Facebook page. We put movie trailers up there. We put our thoughts, our opinions, and yeah. So with that being said, share this video and subscribe. Peace out.
What?
Wait, what are we doing
Do I
now?
just start over?
Why don't we just start with? All right, we
Just
kicked
start
him
over.
out because.